Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing yet again Thai visa exemption stamps here on this channel, and yet again with an influx of fairly new folks to Thailand, especially those who are looking to stay here long term and kind of looking to do so, in my opinion, kind of in a cobbled together ad hoc manner. We're hearing a lot of talk about, well, how many visa exemption stamps can I use in a given year? I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Pattaya Mail, that's pattayamail.com. Article is titled, Immigration and the New Government. Quoting directly, the latest rule allows visa-exempt tourists to receive 60 days on arrival with a 30 days extension at local immigration. Nothing in print prevents these tourists from leaving the country, for example, on a border hop, and repeating the procedure indefinitely. That would mean a permanent leave to remain in Thailand without any visa simply by briefly leaving the country, even for an hour or two, 4 times a year. No need to show any paperwork of any kind. Yeah, that's not the case as a practical matter. We've done videos on this channel many times talking about that. The indefinite visa exemption died right around the time I first came to Thailand some 17 years ago. In fact, it was replaced by a scheme which at the time you were only allowed to get 3 30-day stamps in a given 6-month period, and then some people would cobble together like a tourist visa with that, as I recall, and then try to like cobble together a year out of that whole thing. It wasn't a very, it was an ad hoc way of doing things is what I would say about that, but it no longer exists. And I don't know who the writer is or whatever with regard to that article, but in point of fact, we do have a great deal of guidance on the issue of exemptions in a given year. There was a decree in the Royal Gazette. We did videos on it some years ago talking about the fact that there was a decree on that issue. And they brought up the fact that in a given year, folks who had certain passports would be able to enter the country. Those that have passports that allow for visa exemption, those folks would be able to enter Thailand twice a year, 2 entries per year, without a great deal of hassle. Now, it didn't preclude further entry, but the presumption was past 2, significant scrutiny would be applied to those trying to come to Thailand and use a visa exemption stamp to effectively live here. As discussed in other videos on this channel, there have been many major relaxation sort of changes, if you will, to Thai visa law, to Thai immigration laws. We've seen a great many of the regulations, especially on long-term status, rolled back. We are now seeing a longer visa exemption stamp. But that being said, this presumption that one can just sort of live in Thailand indefinitely on a visa exemption stamp was not only proven wrong in the past, we do have a royal decree, or a decree from the Royal Gazette, I should say, regarding such entrances. So we do have guidelines for that. Again, it doesn't preclude further border runs in and out, but at the end of the day, the rule is you cannot, well, I shouldn't say the rule, but the current guidelines dictate 2 entries per year without heightened scrutiny. Past that, you're going to be looking at heightened scrutiny, you're going to be looking at immigration enforcement, you're going to be having to deal with those kinds of things. So again, the rule of thumb in my mind is nothing has really changed with regard to the policy on exemptions, other than the fact that the stamp itself is for a longer period. It's now for 60 days with the option to extend by another 30, as opposed to the past where it was 30 days with the option to extend by 30. So the thing to take away from this video is, no, I don't think it is prudent to presume that you can use the visa exemption stamp indefinitely here in the Kingdom of Thailand. Hi, my name is Benjamin Hart, as you know, and I'm going to do a quick bumper for a lot of these immigration videos that we're going to be doing moving forward, because there are a number of options that have come up here recently, and unfortunately there's just been a lot of nonsensical talk throughout the ether of the internet, as well as in even like the mainstream press. The print press has been talking a lot about immigration, and quite honestly not all of the conclusions that they're drawing are correct. So the point of this bumper, if you will, is for me to just kind of remind people it's not a terrible idea to contact a legal professional who deals with immigration on a regular basis, because there are a number of options now available for foreigners looking to be in Thailand long term. Some of them are going to be more optimal than others, depending on your own circumstances.